All right, I'm going to show you a way to paint fans and grills so that they don't end up just being a bunch of black paint over the top of the grill. We want to retain our color on the tops, and we want to fill in all the primer parts, and we want to give it depth. And that can be hard to do, especially this paint is super flat. And you know what happens when you try to paint over that? This whole thing will just become a black grill. And that's one thing that it's kind of repulsive when you see a warm paint job where the entire grill is totally black and you can't see the original. The difference between the little spines there and still have depth. And these wire mesh screens, we don't want them to look totally, oops, that one's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. Sponge. Okay. Now, as you can see, there's white spots in there. Okay, it's hard to get paint down in there because of surface tension. And so what we do is we've got our water here that has dish soap in it. We take our brush, get some dish soap water on it, and then we kind of fill this guy in and let him float. Almost like making a little swimming pool there. And let that dish soap break the tension down. Same with this one. Okay, we flood him. And that little bit of soap is going to work its way around. Okay. So then I've got one here that's ready. Actually I already started a little bit. What I'm doing now is I'm going to take, on my wet palette, I put a little water on here. I'm going to take a little bit of the black and make it really watery. Now this black I'm using is licorice. No, not that. Wherever it went. Licorice. Now these paints, look carefully. It says enamel, but gloss acrylic. Enamel glass paint. All right, gloss acrylic. It's an acrylic paint. It's not enamel that you need to use mineral spirits with. Okay, so then I'm going to contaminate this water with this watery black here. And see if I paint over the top here, I'm not covering up our paint job. I'm just kind of filling it in and the water is going to take it where it needs to go. And we're going to end up with a nice, and if you make a mistake, you take your sponge and sponge it out. Then I can take some water and I can wipe it off a little bit. Okay, now I've got, when that totally evaporates, we're going to still see our color. Like as you can see from the side, let's get down here. You can see looking at it from the side. So you can see a little part where we haven't got the water all in there yet. But if you look at it from the side like this now, you can still see that we've saved our boxcar red color. And the fan, when that water evaporates, it'll have depth to it, but it'll retain our color so that it doesn't look like we just painted over it with a glob of black. And that's pretty much how you do it. Same with these guys. Now, another thing I did, same with these grills. You do the same thing. Now, one other thing that I did was here is a watercolor pen. I got a set of them at I think Five Below for $5. And then I got these. These are also paint pens, but they have a really super fine tip. And where the masking might be just a little bit off, I can take my little fine tip here and I will just sort of get in there and I'll clean them up just like that. That works pretty good. And these fan housings, I've gone around with the watercolor one. I can hit the edges with this super fine one. And I will get them to be like they are placed on top of the paint. What they're going to look like. And that's an easy way to get some nice detailing without ruining the good paint job that you already did. That's about all there is to it.